And good morning, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News coming to you from our digital desk. It is Thursday. That means it's time for Cuyahoga's Most Wanted. Fugitives everywhere. Hate to hear that sound because it means they might be featured. One of three fugitives we're going to feature this week on the run, innocent until proven guilty, but they need to be in front of a judge, not on our street, making us all a little less safe. Let's welcome in, as we do every week, Detective Red Dyer from the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department. Detective, how are you today?
Wonderful, Dan. How about you?
It's good to have you back. Might be having a little bit of an audio problem on my side. People might say I sound a little weak. We're going to work on that, working through some bugs here. But doesn't mean we don't have fugitives we need to feature. Detective, why do you work with us every week? Why does Cuyahoga County and the most stoppers of Cuyahoga County, why do you work with us every week?
Well, Dan, as we discuss every week, we know that this program works. We've seen the numbers. The community is obviously very engaged, very interested in getting these individuals off the streets and into a courtroom. It opens up the potential for a reward while remaining completely anonymous, which we'll get into a little later. It also affords them the ability to clean up their streets and get justice for these victims.
And that's the important part, as Red talks every week, is this idea of victims that are out there. And if you think about these cases that are extremely serious, they want this person behind bars. They want them to have their day in court. They don't want to be victimized again. And some of these are very serious crimes, including anytime we hear of somebody having a gun put to their head. That's not something to be taken lightly. You have to ask, what's the next step? They were willing to put a gun to that person's head. When are they willing to pull that trigger? So let's get to the case of Denzel Ward. What do we know?
Well, Dan, what we know about Mr. Ward is that in January of 2025, he actually entered a local business and took merchandise without paying for it. When confronted an employee in the parking lot, he brandished a firearm and fled the scene. So we're turning a theft into a robbery here, an armed robbery. He has an extensive criminal history with the Sheriff's Department dating back to 2007. He's considered a repeat violent offender, actually, due to a 2013 guilty plea to felonious assault. According to reports in that case, he shot a gun at the victim and stated that they could hear the bullet go past their head, so a very close call. But he then placed the gun against the victim's head. He failed to appear in court, and a warrant was issued for his arrest. He can be identified by his many tattoos, to include a tattoo on the right side of his head, which reads, "Forever Young." He should be considered armed and dangerous. I wanted to note he has warrants with Brooklyn for failure to appear and South Euclid for theft. He's 5'7" and 145 pounds and was last known to be staying in the 20,000 block of Donnybrook Road in Maple Heights.
Yeah, very serious situation there, pulling the trigger and then putting the gun to that person's head. Let's make sure that individual is off our street. Let's get to our second case today, Carlton Marberry. What do we know?
Well, Dan, what we know is that in 2024, Mr. Marberry pled guilty to aggravated assault. We've seen a lot of different weapons here on Crime Stoppers, but this is the first time I think we've seen this. According to indictments, Carlton assaulted the victim with a toilet, causing them serious harm. He failed to appear in a probation violation hearing, and a warrant was issued for his arrest. He has a criminal history with the Sheriff's Department dating back to 2000. He's 6'1" and 230 pounds and was last known to be staying in the 200 block of Regina Drive in the city of Bedford.
A toilet lid, that is definitely a first. We've seen frying pans, lamps, bottles. This is the first toilet lid we've ever had on Crime Stoppers. Very interesting there. Red, we're going to get to our third and final case. Just an absolute terrible situation here. And we know that sex offenders need to register for a reason. That is part of their sentence. And when they're not doing so, it makes us all a little safe. Let's get to the case of Vincent Blau. What do we know?
Well, Dan, Vincent Blau may be known on the streets as Peter Blaine or Vincent Blaine. He's wanted by the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department for failing to verify his residence. In 2014, he pled guilty to kidnapping with sexual motivation specification. Very important, because as a part of that plea, he's required to register as a Tier 3 sex offender. According to reports, Vincent approached the victim from behind as they were walking on the sidewalk. then grabbed them and covered their nose and mouth with a rag. The victim regained consciousness in bushes near train tracks. He has an extensive criminal history with the Sheriff's Department back in 1992 and actually has a warrant with the APA for a sex offender registration violation. He's 5'9" and 151 pounds, and we do not have a sniper arrest for Vincent. So that is all the more reason why we need to locate him as quickly as possible.
Let's get to this idea of getting involved. We'd all like our community to be safer. We'd all like to help out authorities, but we don't exactly want to be associated with these individuals. This is not somebody that I want knowing my name is the one who turned them in. But that's why Crime Stoppers of Cuyahoga County works. Walk us through the process of, hey, I know where one of these guys is. I see the phone number at the bottom of the screen, 216-252-7463. Why should I feel comfortable calling in?
Well, Dan, as we discuss every week at Crime Stoppers, we don't record the phone calls. We don't have caller ID. We don't take down your name or any personal identifying information. All contact you have with us is referenced to an anonymous tip number that we provide to you when you call. So your information is exchanged.
And that is designed with a purpose so that people do feel comfortable making that call, and so that these accused and these fugitives don't know who you are at the end of this process. Detective, we talk about a reward every week up to $5,000 for these crimes. What do you like people to know?
That crime doesn't pay, but Crime Stoppers does.
Crime Stoppers does pay. You earn up to $5,000 depending on the crime that the individual is accused of, and its money can be a big motivator. Keep in mind, we have a 70% capture rate. 70%. That means basically 2 out of the 3 individuals that we showed you, whether directly or indirectly because of Cuyahoga's Most Wanted, is going to end up getting caught. So, Detective, to you and the staff there at the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department, I say, let's go get them. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, take care, Red. It's going to wrap it up for this week's Cuyahoga's Most Wanted. We will have our 11 o'clock news in about 15 minutes on Cleveland's 43. Then make sure you check out our noon news on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a great day.